So I'll start by saying I love my truck. I got it a few months ago, and at the time, this truck was one of the best priced Warlocks within 500 miles, and it happened to be 40 minutes down the road from me. When you're buying any vehicle, there comes a point where you got to weigh cost versus options, right? Now, maybe the best priced truck and the truck with all the options you want are around the same range. And if that's the case for you, then you're really lucky. In my situation, the specs that I wanted were in trucks that were at least $5,000 more. And this Warlock was at such a good price, and it was close to me where I said, you know what, I'm going to get it. And a lot of these things on my list, you just sort of learn to live with. None of them were like absolute deal killers, but if I had to go to ram.com and order this truck again from scratch, these are the 5 options I would without a doubt get this time around. And I've ordered them from sort of least important or the option that I don't care about as much all the way to the first one, which is something I really would have wanted and something that without a doubt on probably any pickup truck moving forward I will get. So the 5th one is the Mopar Tubular side steps. I think they're like $695. This one's one of those that I don't really care about too much, but it would be nice to have those. Now, I know you can get aftermarket side steps for a fraction of the price of what the Mopars cost. I know they're not hard to install at all. I'm looking at sets right now and trying to make a decision. I'm also looking at electric steps, but I feel like, in between when I bought the truck and making that decision, they would have been nice to have. And maybe if the truck already had them, I wouldn't even be looking at other options. So not something that's really that big of a deal. But if I had to do it again, it would have been nice to find a truck that had that option. The 4th one is the 392 rear end. So on the Warlock, I think with the customer preferred group, blah, 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 I don't know what it's called. Most people have it. You get the 355 rear end standard, and that's good. It's better than the 321, but I really would have liked the 392, and the biggest reason is it ups your towing capacity by, I think, 3,000 pounds. It ups it a good amount, and it makes towing probably a lot better. Now, I've towed with this truck before, and the 355 is fine, but I almost would rather have the couple minor trade-offs you get with the 392 for that much better towing experience. But that one's number 4. Number 3 would be the 33-gallon tank. Now, on the Warlock, you get a 26-gallon tank standard. And I'm averaging probably right now, I'd say 16, 17 miles per gallon between all my driving. I don't really do a ton of highway driving, mostly suburban type driving. And here in the Ozark Mountains, a lot of up and down. So about 16 to 17. I know a lot of people are saying that right at that 5,000 mile range, their fuel economy got better. I've heard that from now enough people where I believe it to be true. I'm still in the 2,500 mile range, so I haven't seen that yet, but I'm hoping that is the case as the engine breaks in and I guess auto-optimizes with time. But the 33-gallon tank would have given me an extra 7 gallons, and at 18 miles per gallon, you guys do the math, that's over 100 extra miles on a tank. That would be really nice. Having, let's just call it 140 miles extra. That's a big difference, especially when you are on the highway and you are towing. I feel like the 392 rear end and the 33-gallon tank just make a killer combo. And the best part is that if you are ordering this truck, those two options together are like $600. It's almost a no-brainer. I wish I had the 33-gallon tank, but I don't. 26 is fine. I'm getting about 370 or 380 miles on a tank, which isn't terrible. But obviously, if I had to do it again, 33 all day. The second one, and I'll explain this one a little bit better because it's not as maybe black and white as it seems, no pun intended, because the second one is I would have liked the truck to be in black, and I'll tell you why. It's not that I don't like the white, because I really do like the white. It's grown on me a lot. The Stormtrooper look is really cool, but I'm going to be wrapping this truck. I wrap cars for a living. I wrapped all my cars in the past. And wrapping a white truck is no less than a nightmare. If you're somebody who also wraps, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Specifically with panel gaps, the white makes it so that you're going to see a lot further into panel gaps. And so you got to tuck further. You got to do more inlays, stuff like wheel wells. You can't be as careless. And the biggest thing is in between the bed and the cab with a white truck is a freaking nightmare. But with black's a dream. I love wrapping black cars. They are so easy to wrap because it's the exact opposite of white. The black draws out all that negative space in between panel gaps. And if you don't tuck as far in with, even if you're wrapping a black truck white, it still doesn't matter because in a panel gap, it's naturally darker. So you're not going to look at it and say, oh, he didn't tuck as far in and I could still see black. You're just going to think that's dead space. But if you're wrapping a white truck black, well, if you miss one area, you're going to see it and it's going to stand out like a sore thumb. So when I ultimately acquiesced and said, okay, I'll get the white truck, whatever, I knew at that time that I would not have as many color options as if I had gotten the black truck. What I mean by that is when you have a white truck, and for all my customers too, I advise the same thing. If you have a white vehicle, you're limited on colors. Really, you got to keep your colors on the lighter side, right? You don't want too stark or too much of a contrast between your black and your white. You're going to notice it. It doesn't matter how good of a wrapper you are. Even things like door jambs, if you're not wrapping door jambs, even things like hinges. How are you going to wrap the hinges on a door? You'd have to paint them too. Stuff like the bed, right? In between this bed area with all this junk. I mean, sure, you can wrap it, but if you're doing that at a shop, it's going to cost you easily $5,000 more to do. Once you start adding up, under the hood is another example. So if you're somebody who wants to wrap your truck, black's the best color, hands down. I wish I got black for that reason alone, but luckily the color that I'm wrapping the truck in here in probably about a week, we're going to start that. It's going to be a satin metallic. It's going to be on the lighter side, so I don't think you'll notice it as much. I've actually wrapped a white car with this exact color before, and the difference is not that bad. And I'm going to come up with some unique hacks for in between the bed area. I think I'm going to have more of these, like you get these standard rubber seals. I'm going to get more of those and probably extend the area so I don't have to tuck in as much. I still haven't decided if I'm going to slide the bed back or not. I know you can undo the 6 bolts and slide it back a few inches. I really don't want to do that. I know it's easy enough. It's just not something I really want to do. Those are things I'm looking at. Now, the first one, and the one that I would have loved more than anything else in the world, is the bed utility group. I think all trucks should come standard with bed liner. That's just my opinion. This truck did not come with a bed liner. Now, I do have it's kind of like a bed rug. It's called the Guardian Impact. Very similar to a bed rug. It's basically a white label. And I actually really like it. If you watched that video, you saw I gave the reasons as to why I went with this and not with a spray-in, at least for now. But this doesn't feel like a compromise to me. I really like it. In fact, for what I need, it's perfect. But with that said, I would have loved the bed liner. And beyond that, I would have loved to have another 115 in the back. I would have loved to have the bed lights. Those are all such amazing features. And for the price, it's 1,000% worth it. I think it's $900,000 or something from the factory. You guys that have bed utility group or bed liner from the factory, you don't know how lucky you are. Now, maybe somebody in the comments is going to say, well, they don't do the bed liners from the factory as good as they do aftermarket. Yeah, I think there's other brands that are worse with that, like Ford, I'd say. It's just, it would have been a nice thing to have. And the great thing is that you drive it off the dealer lot and you can instantly throw stuff in the back. I put a couple of things in the bed between the few weeks of buying the truck and getting something in here, and I was already chipping paint. The paint is so cheaply applied in the bed, on the tailgate specifically. I mean, it chips so easily. It's ridiculous. They should just put the bed liner in these trucks. I don't know why they don't. I don't know why it's an option. Maybe somebody can change my mind or give me a different point of view here, but I don't see any disadvantages to having the spray in. But anywho, those are my 5 things that I would have loved to have on this truck if I was ordering it again. Now, obviously, I got to work within the confines of what you can get on the Warlock. I have a whole nother list of things that I would love to have on this truck, but they just don't come on the truck. One example would be full rear wheel liners. I think this is an off-road truck. Why only the half liners? A full wheel liner on the back should come standard, but you see it doesn't. I don't even know if you can get it on the Warlock. I don't think you can. So maybe I'll make a whole nother video just talking about all the things that this truck really should have come standard with, or at least you can option in. But with any vehicle, unless you are ordering it, it's sometimes going to be hard to find the right spec. And if you do find the right spec, that usually is coupled with patience and time being on your side. In my scenario, time was not on my side. I was chasing a good price, just as any consumer should. I was chasing convenience. I did not want to drive 5 or 8 hours to pick up a truck just because at that time I couldn't. And, you know, the other thing, obviously, is when you order a new truck, you're not going to get nearly as good of a price. There's multiple reasons behind that. But overall, I'm very happy with the truck. All these can be worked around. You see the bed, I got to drop in place. The black paint color, whatever, I'm going to wrap over the white and then we'll call it a day. The 33-gallon tank. I don't do enough highway driving to where it's a total nuisance. The 392 rear end. I don't do enough towing to where it's a nuisance. And the side steps, there's tons of aftermarket options to the point where it's overwhelming. There is no shortage of aftermarket options when it comes to side steps, so that one really doesn't matter to me. Anyways, hope you guys liked the video. Just as a reminder, please consider subscribing, liking the video, commenting down below. Each time you guys do, every one of those or a combination of all of those, it really helps YouTube know that I'm putting out good videos and that you guys enjoy the content. And in return, they push my videos more to more viewers, and together we grow a more successful page and a stronger community. Speaking of community, I also have a Facebook group called 2025 and Up Ram Owners. It's in the description of this video as well as my YouTube page. Feel free to join and share a picture of your truck. I love to see maybe all the 5 options that I don't have and further make me feel bad about what I don't have. And it's funny, all of you guys, I love it. I love when all of you tell me the options you have on your trucks. But I didn't realize that was a thing in the truck community. I mean, wow, a lot of you guys in the comments, you give me your entire sticker, and I love seeing it because I love seeing all the different colors you guys have. So many unique colors out there that I haven't seen in person yet. But each time I read those comments, usually 80 to 90% of you have one of these 5 at least. And I'm like, ugh, I wish I had. I feel like I got the worst truck out of everybody, but that's okay because I'm going to make it cool. And it just gives me more things that I can improve on the truck down the road. Thanks for watching.